We're on week 2 of the NFL playoffs, and the league's top teams will be out in full force. On Saturday, the Indianapolis Colts will take on the Kansas City Chiefs, and in a primetime matchup, the Dallas Cowboys will go to Hollywood to play the Los Angeles Rams. On Sunday, the LA Chargers will visit Tom Brady and the New England Patriots, and the defending Super Bowl champions, Philadelphia Eagles, will visit New Orleans to take on the NFL's best team, the Saints. Bill Reiter, host of Reiter's Block on CBS Sports HQ, joins us now. Okay, Bill, so why don't we kick it off with the AFC? You've got the Chiefs versus the Colts, the Patriots versus the Chargers. What do you expect from this matchup?
I think both of these road teams who are the underdogs are going to have a chance to win these football games. The Colts are the hottest team in football, and as much as I'm a believer in Patrick Mahomes and that Kansas City Chiefs offense, their defense leaves a lot to be desired. And going up against Andrew Luck, I could see the Colts coming into Kansas City and breaking Chiefs fans' hearts again. That is a very tortured fan base. In New England, I know the smart money and the smart analysts will point out that Bill Belichick and Tom Brady almost never lose at Foxborough in the playoffs, and that conversely, the Chargers have had so many struggles over the years, turning great regular seasons into postseason success. But outside of the quarterback and the head coach, albeit those are important parts of an NFL team's success, that Chargers team is better in almost every respect. They won 12 games this year. They almost won the AFC West. So I think we're going to have two great games, and I think there's a chance you could see both road teams surprise a lot of people.
I hope Belichick and Brady aren't watching, because you just put a whole lot of extra pressure on them all of a sudden gaming out that one. You know, the NFC and the two NFC East teams, the Cowboys and the Eagles, they're big underdogs against the high-flying offenses of the Rams and the Saints. Do you really think they can pull off an upset?
I mean, I don't think the Eagles can, but as a Bears fan, I need to learn to be quiet when it comes to doubting Nick Foles, right? So the Saints are the best team remaining in football. There's a reason that they're the odds-on favorite to win the Super Bowl. As good as they are everywhere, they are remarkable at home in New Orleans under that dome. But the Eagles have Nick Foles, and he has been nothing short of remarkable and transcendent in the postseason. Last year, we know the story, won the whole thing. This season, stepping in yet again for Carson Wentz. For the Cowboys, I don't think the Cowboys are going to win this football game. I think the Rams are too talented. I think Sean McVay is too good of a head coach. But the Rams have to face two things at travel, and that the Cowboys are going to bring to Los Angeles. That's the best running back statistically in football in Ezekiel Elliott. Todd Gurley, certainly good on the Rams side, and a great Cowboys defense. So you got a great defense. You have a great run game. You have a chance in the postseason. I think the Rams win that game. I think the Saints win those games. But there's a reason all these teams are still around. It could be some real good football games.
So, Bill, you and I talk about this. I love the sideline stories in football. This really isn't a sideline story, but I got to ask you, it's such a big story about Heisman Trophy winner Kyler Murray wrestling between whether he does baseball or football. I mean, can you imagine being that much of an athlete? You've got both options. Take us through his story, and I'm curious what you think he should do.
Yeah, I cannot imagine. I don't have the skills for one sport, let alone two at this level. But if I'm Kyler Murray, here's what I'm doing. He's in a remarkable position, and I think this is the advice he needs to take, having talked to people both in the NFL and Major League Baseball. The world is his right now, and I think he can set the boundaries that he wants to set. He's got that $5 million opportunity from the A's. They drafted him 9th overall. And if he goes to the Combine, which he should do this spring, and I know it interferes with spring training, but if he lays down the rules and says, this is what I'm doing, guys, draft me, don't draft me, someone's probably going to draft him pretty high in that draft. And I think he'll have the opportunity and the option, at least for a while, to play both of those sports and to see which sport he prefers and which prefers him in return. He can be a multimillionaire in football or baseball. If I'm Kyler Murray, I'm exploring both, and I'm daring teams to pass on me. Someone, and certainly the A's have already drafted him, someone in the NFL will take him and work around whatever baseball restrictions there are for at least a little while. So
the way the season works, he could theoretically do both, you think?
For a time, and we saw Bo Jackson, we saw Deion Sanders, it's really hard to do. So here's what would happen. Kyler Murray's not going to be in the major leagues no matter how great of a ball player is for a while. So presumably what he would have to do is go to spring training at the end of February, step away from spring training for the Combine, and then once he's drafted, it's up to Murray to make the decision if he wants to do both. But if I'm Murray's representative or advisor, I'm telling him, tell NFL teams, you're going to give baseball a go for a couple years. You won't be available. That means until September, week 3 or 4. You're not going to be in the World Series because you'll be in the minor leagues as a young ball player working your way up, and take a couple years where an NFL team understands you're going to arrive and week 3 or 4 or 5. And, Rena, I really think there's an NFL team that would say, you know what? Okay, we'll deal with this for a while. We think he's that talented.
All right, interesting. I think he's going to be so fascinating to watch and see what he decides to do. Bill, earlier this week, our own Elaine Quijano actually interviewed New York Knicks center Enes Kanter about why he fears traveling to London due to this feud with the Turkish president. Here's what he had to say.
I did talk to my team, and they said, you know what, yes, you can go to London. But if you go to London, all you can do is go to practice, come back to your room. Go to game, come back to your room. And you have to be with the security 24/7. And you cannot leave your room besides them practices and game. And I was okay with that. I was like, you know what? I want to be with my team. I want to be part of my team. I want to go there and have fun with my teammates. And then later on, we spoke with the front office guys. And they're like, you know what? It's not worth it. It might be really, very dangerous for you to just go there. And then it's not worth risking.
Bill, you've covered the NBA for a long time. What do you make of Kanter's really unique position as a vocal critic of a foreign government?
Yeah, I know Kanter a little bit. He's a really good guy. It's remarkably brave because as talented as he is, and he's a very talented basketball player, he is not LeBron James. He is not Michael Jordan before him. He's not Giannis Antetokounmpo or Kevin Durant. There will come a time when he's not playing in the NBA, and whatever shield his fame is supposed to give him, Rena, is not going to be there. And he's right. It probably wouldn't be there in London. And he's used his platform as an NBA player to talk about what he views as a rising dictatorship in Turkey, an autocrat disguised as a president. Enes and I have had that conversation, and this is a guy who is willing to put, obviously, his life ahead of and his safety on the back burner so that he can speak his mind and use his platform in the NBA while he has it. And just talking to people around the NBA, they like the guy, they respect the guy, and I think it reinforces for a lot of folks how lucky we are to be in this country.
It certainly does, Bill. That's such a good point. I want to thank you so much, Bill Reiter. Thank you for joining us, Bill.
Anytime.
And don't forget, you can watch Bill's show, Writer's Block, every Monday through Friday, 5 p.m., only on CBS Sports HQ.